It is Tuesday, October 28th here at the West End Gun Club. It is right about 5:40. We're out here on the main line, going to run some rounds through the 7PRC build. I'm actually here to do a run through of the NRL22 November Course of Fire, but I wanted to get some rounds in the 7PRC because if you saw my previous range vlog, I started having vertical stringing to the extreme, like 2 to 3 inches up and down at 100 yards. And I believe there's a system issue. So took it home, took it apart as far as the action, the rifle, barreled action, and the stock. Retorqued everything. It seemed fine, but I also retorqued the mounting system. So we'll figure out if that's an issue. If I still have it this morning, after this morning with a few rounds, I'm going to likely swap the scope out with something that I have in my safe to see if it's a scope issue, see if there's a scope failure. But let's go ahead and get some rounds down range because it is breezy. If you hear on my mic, it's windy. And we're hitting a temperature swing this week. We were like high 70s in the past few days where I live in Southern California. But today is going to hit 90 where I live. So we're going to have like a 15-degree temperature swing. And usually what happens when you see these kinds of swings is there's wind. I'm no meteorologist, but I don't know, high pressure, low pressure, and all this stuff. But usually when you have a temp swing like that, when it heats up rapidly from day to day, usually there's winds in the mountain areas. And where we're in a mountain area. So there is wind today. I checked the weather report. It ain't gonna get any better than this. Right now I feel it's like probably 10 to 12 mile an hour winds right now. I heard it's gonna hit like 15 maybe and gust up to 20 or 30. So let's go ahead and get these rounds down range, get over the rimfire range, and then we'll start a run through of the November NRL22 Course of Fire. And hopefully it won't get too windy this morning. The main problem with shooting in the dark like this, even with lights on the target, is that eye relief and like if you have if you have the image optically centered in the tube, it's really hard to tell. So you really got to watch that parallax on that reticle on the target and just hope for the best. And I think our parallax is set okay, so even if I'm off a little bit from shot to shot, it wouldn't be, it's not going to be more than 1/10 of a mil. Alright. I did retorque the scope, so hopefully we're not off zero too much. Let's go ahead and get around down range. Alright, we're okay there. We're on target. Alright. Alright, looks good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and call it, and then we'll try to shoot another group after I do the run through later in the day. But let's go ahead and pull the target, and we'll show you what it looks like. Here is the group that I just shot. So this is a 5-round string. Cold bore shot, not a clean bore, but cold bore, and then 4 more shots here. This is what I expected. Windage is off. I need to move that over after I retorqued everything, which is fine. And what I ended up doing is retorquing the clamp screws to the spec, and I think I might have torqued it maybe I felt I was probably torquing a little bit under spec, so I went to max spec that Warren has on their site. So I don't know if that was 55 or 65 inch-pounds. Whatever max is, I went ahead and went with max. And then I retorqued the scope caps, or the ring caps, rather. And so hopefully this will hold. But this is what I expected out of this gun. So again, cold bore and then 4 shots. So We'll shoot another 5-round group before, I'll try to shoot another 5-round group before we leave the range today, but this looks good.
In the dark, drawing cold blood, hide away. Am I scared of the thing I'm trying to find? Cross my heart, but took a U-turn, 'cause the light made my skin burn. Time after time, guess I need to say sorry. Been treating me poorly. Believe that's
It's already 7:40. I haven't even started the run through yet. So let's go ahead and get started because I do want to get some stages in. I do before I take a break at 9 because I do have to call into work. Even though I have the day off, I do have to take a call at 9 just to represent my office on something that's taking place. Should only take me a few minutes, but do need to call in. Anyway, the first stage we're going to run through in the November 2025 NRL22 Course of Fire is called C is for Cookie. It's a 12-round stage, 122nd part time, as per usual. We have 5 targets which are lettered near to far. So we have a 1-inch at 50 on a double hanger, that's target A or Alpha. We have a 1.5 at 63 yards on a single hanger, that's Bravo. We have a 2-inch at 75 on a single hanger, that's Charlie. We have a 2.5-inch target at 87 yards on a single hanger, that's Delta. We have a 3-inch at 100 yards on a single hanger, that's Echo. It's a tank trap stage. Tank trap tip is pointing to the rear, and then targets are set up as a troop line not to exceed 10 yards laterally. Start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the targets as listed below from any tank trap tip. You must move after each sequence. Tips may be repeated. So there's 6 sequences here. One position will be Charlie. Then move to another tip that you're not on. You're going to do ABC or Alpha Bravo Charlie. Move, Charlie. Move, EDC. Move, Charlie. Move, AEC or Alpha Echo Charlie. So it's 6 positions. You can change to, you can just keep alternating the tips if you want to, because you can repeat the tips. But you got to remember, you're going to go Charlie, ABC, Charlie, EDC, Charlie, AEC. I don't know how you're going to remember that mentally. Like, you know that you're going to have Charlie, then you're going to go to a 3-target sequence. Charlie, 3-target sequence. Charlie, 3-target sequence. Obviously, the first sequence is easy, ABC. The next one is going to be EDC, so backwards. And then the third sequence, or the third 3-target sequence is AEC, so that's going to be near, far, middle. I don't know if that's easy to remember for you. So basically, middle target, near to far, ABC. Middle target, far to near, 3 targets, EDC. Middle target, then near, far, middle. I don't know if that's too confusing for you. If it's too confusing for you, write it down and just have it on your dope card. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this, try this stage out and see how it goes. ABC. I'm not going to touch my parallax, but I probably should. Back to Charlie. .7. Far to near, 1.7. .2. 0.7. That's the mag change now. Back to Charlie. And then we're gonna go near, far, middle. parallax. I'm not going to. Far is 1.7. Oh, I don't got good bad contact here. And middle. Okay. Pretty slow. Well, had 16 seconds left. This stage is, it's okay. I mean, I think as long as you memorize your sequence, you should be fine. Just go with a purpose and understand what you're going to do. As far as my choice of the tips, I decided to shoot Charlie off the back one, the middle target by itself. From here, I don't know why I just chose it there. And then from this side, I chose to use this for my three target sequences, only because I feel like I could game it a little bit if I'm feeling uncomfortable and steady. I can always put my elbow here on this tank tap tip if I felt I needed to. So that's one way to game it, right? You may opt to go this side if you're a right-handed shooter, because you can lean against this, maybe depending on how the tank trap is at your venue. But I felt like just using the rear and one of the sides is the best way to go because there's just less movement. If you try to go left and right, then you're going to be going back and forth. It just wastes time, in my opinion, just excessive movement. So for here, this seemed very simple. Just move back and forth, back and forth. Now, as far as I would just try to memorize your dope just to make it easier. I keep my dope card here. You know, I had 0.4, 0.7, 1.2, 1.7. Obviously, 50 is my zero, so there's no need to write that down. But I kind of just remember, hey, my middle target is always going to be 0.7, so I just remember that in my head, so I'm not looking at my dope card. And then you just kind of know your sequences, you know, straight dead on for 50, 0.4, 0.7, and back then 1.7, 1.2, and then 0.7, etc. So try to memorize that so you're not looking at your dope card so much, and then maybe just use your dope card mainly to remind yourself of what your target sequence is. You know, middle, near to far, 3, middle, far to near, 3, middle, far, near, far, middle. So I'm gonna write that down. Aside from that, just the memorization, I think this is a pretty straightforward stage. Just gotta go with a purpose, figure out what you're gonna do, and execute. I think that's all you need to do. Anyway, let's go and move on to the next stage. The next stage we're running to is called Ladder. I Hardly Know Her. 10-round stage, 1/22 part time. We have 2 banks of targets, both KYLs. We have the 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch KYL at 35 yards, and then we have a 3/4 inch and 1 inch KYL at 50 yards. No restrictions here. You're going to shoot start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, take a position on a ladder rung and engage the far KYL rack with 1 shot each, large to small. Then transition to a different rung and engage the near KYL rack with 1 shot each, large to small. So 1, 2, move, 3, 4, move. Continue this sequence engaging the far KYL, then the near KYL, moving to a different rung after every second shot. Rungs may be repeated. And the club-provided tripod rear support may be used and fully deployed prior to the clock starting. So if I don't forget my tripod this time around like I did for the last match, I will bring this. This is my TVC22i. And just a reminder that you do have to hold the tripod if you're going to use it. It must be off the ground, all the legs. However, I have let people do this where as long as if your foot is here, I've seen people do that where they have this tripod foot on top of their shoe, their toe. That is acceptable as long as the other two legs are off the ground. So I've seen people do that. It's acceptable. At least I view that as acceptable here at this match. So how am I going to do this? I'm just thinking in my head. I just pick 2 rungs, move back and forth. I'll use the tripod for rear support because it is windy, a little bit windy, and I think I'm going to use it because it might blow me off target. So it's not a bonus stage. You're going to shoot. So basically, yeah, you're going to shoot the far, then near, far, near, far, near, far, near, then far. You're going to end on the far. Okay. Let's try this one out, see how it goes. you have the targets for all three. The target struck. I think the wind's going right. Timed out. Barely nicked it. Ladder's wobbly. Oh shoot, small target's missing. Oh wow, that's funny. Targets are swapping. Alright. Fix that. I think it's tight. Barely nicked it. Trying to hold the wind. Probably shouldn't have. Oh, I missed it last shot. This took plenty of time though. The tripod definitely held me up. So I did try to use the tripod initially and I did get stable. It was pretty stable. However, the issue at hand is I'm trying to juggle a few things here. I'm trying to move my bag, trying to move the tripod to adjust to the change in the height of the ladder, plus the change in the height of the targets, because the 50-yard target's a little bit taller, higher off the ground, or about 2 feet higher off the ground than the 35-yard target. So you're changing your position as well as far as angle of attack. As well as I wanted to change my parallax because I needed to. I think if you don't change your parallax, that difference between 50 and 35 could be a huge deal. Depth of field here on the Zico, I mean, it's not, I think it's about average, but definitely need to adjust parallax for 35 and 50, at least for my eye. And so I was trying to juggle all those things. So I think it's easier just to run single bag. I chose these 2 rungs. Here I just shot the far target off the middle, the 3rd rung. And I shoot like a high kneeling. And then this second from the bottom, I just put my right knee up to get more stability. And that seems sufficient enough for me. And it kept my hands free so I could just keep my hand on the grip, hand on the gun, forehand, hand on the bag, and I can just dive through as needed. I can punch the bag down, drive gun through, come down, adjust parallax, close bolt, not have to worry about my other hand handling the tripod. So I probably would recommend not going with the tripod. I wanted to try it with the tripod. I thought it'd be better given how windy it is today, but I shot better and smoothly without the tripod. So that's just me. Again, I'm not the best shooter in the world, so definitely need to go with what you're most comfortable with, but I feel like without the tripod, it's a lot easier. So anyway, let's move on to the next stage in the Course of Fire. The next stage in the Course of Fire running through is called Black Friday Bolt Run. 12-round stage, 1/22 par time. We have 2 targets, separate double hangers. We have 2 2.5-inch targets on double hangers at 93 yards, and they're spaced 10 yards apart. This is the bonus time stage, so if you finish with extra time on the clock, you get bonus points. You're going to start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, take a position on the left barrel and engage the right target with 2 shots. Then transition to the right barrel and engage the left target. Continue this target engagement, moving after every second shot until all 12 rounds have been fired or time expires. So, basically, start from the left, shoot the right, go to the right, shoot left, and just alternate. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 6 positions, 12 rounds. 2 shots per position. No restrictions here. But I'm thinking about using 2 bags and just putting one bag on one barrel and one bag on another barrel and not have to move the bag, which is kind of cheesy. But we'll just shoot it normally just with one bag, just because a lot of people don't have more than one bag, so we'll just shoot it with one bag just for the sake of doing it like a normal person would shoot it. So let's try this one out. This barrel's tippy. Don't know why. The bottom end is definitely wobbly. This one's a lot more stable than that one. Oh, I saw that bullet go to the right. I went and picked it up. That's alright. I saw that trajectory. The funny thing is, the wind is blowing to the left, and my rounds are going to the right. Moving's kind of slow. That was only 112. The wind's blowing pretty good right now. It's a lot of dust. All my mags are covered in dust right now. So, and anyway, this stage is straightforward. I was moving slow, and I think I was fighting the bag. Unfortunately, I opted to use my big, heavy fill Armageddon gear grippy Armageddon gear bag, and it's not really full all the way, and so it was definitely not. It was not moving the stand around where I wanted it to. And I think I should have just went with my medium, which is a little bit more full. And the reason being is that when I wanted to get my gun angled, I was fighting that bag, trying to get it to move up. And so I needed it just to tilt upwards more. And so I think I should have went with my medium, which it just feels better. It feels and feels better. I don't know. So I should have went with this bag instead. I probably need to adjust my grip bag. But looking through the gun, especially from this one wobbles quite a bit. I guess that bottom is curved. It's very round, I guess. But when I'm trying to fight the bag, I'm also moving the barrel quite a bit. So if I can just use a better bag to just adjust the bag, micro adjust it to get that tilt I need for that 4 or 5 degree angle up to the target, that would have been better. But generally speaking, yeah, I was fighting the bag. So I did miss one round to the wind. Other than that, it was okay as far as the positions were concerned. I was moving a little bit slow. 112. Should have been moving faster, but I think I was just really trying to frame my shots on these ones, and plus this one does really rock. If I put it topside down, I think it would not rock as much, but I don't know if that's cool, to do that. I don't know if the barrels. I think the barrels in the photo are topside up. So unfortunately, people are gonna have to deal with these wobbly barrels. So Definitely get a bag that kind of moves and adjusts and can flow a little bit better, so you can make that adjustment up and down as you need to without putting too much undue force on these very wobbly and light barrels. Anyway, that's it for this stage. I really have no other real recommendations here or tips, because it's very straightforward. Two targets is moving position to position. So just find a bag that works for you, that makes good contact with your gun in the surface, and then you can micro adjust it to get the height that you need, assuming that you do have extreme angles or it's not level ground like we are here at the West End Gun Club. Anyway, that's it for this stage. We'll move on to the next one. But actually, like I said, I think I take a break at 9. It's 8:53. We'll take a quick break, which you're not going to see, and then we'll move on to the other two stages. Whew, a lot of dust. Fourth stage we're going to run through is called Gravy Train of Pain. 10-round stage, 1/22 part time. We have the pyramid. We have two targets, 1.5 on a double hanger at 68 yards, 2-inch on a double hanger at 80 yards. Only standing positions may be used on the pyramid. That is the restriction. You're going to start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the far target with 2 shots, then the near target with 2 shots. Positions are standing at the pyramid and prone. You may choose which position to start with, but after every second shot, you must move to the other position. Positions on the pyramid may be repeated. Okay, that's very interesting. So you're going to shoot 2 the far, move, 2 at the near, move, 2 at the far, move, 2 at the near, move, 2 at the far. So you're going to finish far. It's only a 10-round stage. 2 positions, 2 different positions, a standing and a prone position. So when they say only a standing position may be used on the pyramid, that means you can't be obviously trying to shoot prone here or shoot a kneeling position. You must be on both feet. As long as you're on both feet, no other contact with the ground, I would consider that standing. And then you get down to a prone. The way I have the pyramid just thrown out here, I will probably shoot on the right side because it's easier for me to go to the prone. Well, I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter either way. I'll shoot on the right side because I have more room here. The way I just threw the pyramid down. So I think I've doped it out to it's 0.5 and 0.9. So I'll just dial 0.5 and hold over 0.4. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna do. And you can start whatever position, then you go to standing. All right. Or you start whatever position you want and go to the other position. So standing, prone, person. All right. Sorry, I'm just thinking in my head. Let's go and try this one out and see how it goes. Man, I saw that bullet go to the right. Oh! Should have held left. Okay, other than the wind, not a bad stage. Not much I can bring up here. It's just all going to be approach. It's a very straightforward stage. It's just how do you want to tackle this one. So I decided to shoot the standing position at the far target, not the prone position at the far target. For me, our targets, like the impact area, is at an angle, and I just feel like I'm more comfortable shooting that angle just standing. So I just wanted to shoot the the far target standing, and I drop down to the prone for the near target. That's it pretty much. And then as far as which side of the prop to use, I'm not entirely sure. I think I might want to shoot the left side, only because it feels to bring it up and move that weight to the left. I don't know if it's a little bit different than moving my weight to the right, because I guess theoretically it's more my right side. I'm just more dominant this side, so I feel like I have more strength here. Maybe so. Maybe I feel like just doing a a squat and coming up and bringing it up here to my right. Maybe it feels better with the weight, but I think it doesn't really matter. It's just all semantics at that point. It's just you're nitpicking. So I am struggling with the bipod. I don't really have my skypod anymore because I converted my single pull. I could use my triple pull and what it is now, like my single pull turned into a triple pull. I could use that here, but I just don't. And so my T-back does not. It barely has enough angle to that top. So I might have to switch bipods because this bipod doesn't have enough height that I need to get to that angle. So I have to flatten my rear bag just to get it up there to like that angle. But yeah, I was kind of fighting that in prone. But other than that, it's pretty simple. Just start off in the position you feel like you want to shoot, such that you shoot the smaller target, I guess, the way you want to. I don't know. It's hard to explain this. I think go by feel. And to me, I feel more comfortable standing and shooting at that farther target. I don't know. It just feels better than shooting the near target from prone or from standing. I guess it could go either way. So, as far as my holds are concerned, I did 0.5 on the gun, which is for the near target, and I just held up 0.4 for the far target. So you just got to remember to hold if you're going to hold over, as opposed to dialing. I didn't adjust my parallax. I put my parallax kind of in between, so they're both relatively in focus, so I didn't have to touch my parallax. That's all the advice I can give you. Let's move on to that last stage. Last stage we're going to go through is called Gobbler on the Gable. We have a single bank of targets. It's a 2-inch and a 3-inch on a double hanger at 100 yards. We have the rooftop here. It's no restrictions. It's a 12-round stage. Start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the targets with 2 shots each, large and small, in the following order. Left side of the rooftop, right side of the rooftop, on the rooftop. All positions, the rifle is supported by the rooftop. On the last position, no part of your body nor equipment may touch the ground. So it sounds like at least one part of your body must touch the ground while you're shooting from the left or right. You can try to... I've seen some people just try to shoot one leg down and kind of square up, which is fine. You may just feel more comfortable just leaning with both feet down. It's all up to you. I really have no preference. I guess it probably just depends on the rooftop itself. But should be pretty straightforward. I will tell you right now, I'm likely going to go with the rail attached bag because I'm going to run 2 bags. One for rear support. So let's try this one out. Two shots, large and small. Oh, wind shifted a lot on that end. Gonna move around the rooftop safely. Gun up. Large and small. Oh, I put too much wind on. Whoa, there's no wind? Interesting. That wind shifted again. Wow. Crazy. Oh, wrong leg. Man, that wind is pretty crazy. It was going left to right and then was moving right to left. I didn't use a rail attached bag because I didn't bring it with me. I left the rail portion off of the bag. It's at home somewhere. In any case, I just ran 2 bags. And to be honest, I think it's better not to run the rail attached bag simply because this allows you to slide this a little bit front and back as you need to in order to adjust for position and your rear support, which I ended up doing. As far as the positions themselves, nothing too spectacular here. It's just going to be on the opposite side. When you shoot the right side, if you're a right-handed shooter, you will end up shooting support side because you have to keep one portion of your body on the ground. So all I did was just place my bag there, line up the gun. The bag fell down the rooftop here. Hold my bag, try to line up my gun to the target, get down in position, locate, and then just go through the procedures here. I did miss from this side, not because of my position, but mainly because I had bad wind call. It was going, pushing the brown to the right, so I held, I was pushing to the left, so I held right, and the wind let off. It's weird because in that corner of the impact area, it's like, it's got a wall right there. And so the wind ends up becoming like this whirlpool type thing, so it could actually go one way or the other, just depending on how the wind flows up there. So I've seen weird wind conditions in that area. So that's always a bad place to put the 100-yard target if there's wind, because it changes directions dramatically from shot to shot, depending on how the wind is. Anyway, that's it for this Course of Fire. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, clean it up, and roll out of here, because that dust is really getting to me. Trying to get out of here. The wind blew my gloves all the way to the other side of the parking area, but all packed up. Really want to get out of here. The wind is one thing. It's the dust. I'm covered in dust. Like, all my stuff is covered in dust. I got to blow out my mags with some compressed air or whatever. But that's the most irritating aspect of the wind right now. It's just the dust. I wouldn't mind the wind as much as, if it were clean. Like, had it rained the day prior, this would be fine, because at least it would just be nice and decent humidity and no dirt is getting stirred up. So, but as far as the Course of Fire is concerned, it's not that bad a Course of Fire. The wind played more of a factor than anything today. I missed a few shots on some of the stages, but I think they're all pretty decent. There's nothing really there to trip you up. The troop line there, you're gonna have to memorize the target order. That's not too bad. The ladder stage, you have to be very deliberate. I wouldn't use the tripod. Otherwise, you might time out, which you shouldn't. So I would not go with the tripod if you can. Just shoot one bag if possible, and just shoot normally off your knee, double kneeling, or high double knee, high kneeling, or whatever you want to call it. And the rooftop, you're gonna have to shoot a support side in some degree. I think you might be able to get away with shooting strong side somehow off the right. I don't know. You might be able to do it. I wouldn't try, because you're going to be contorting your body in such a manner that it's not worth it. I would just shoot support side at that point. The stages, I wouldn't say the stage is easy. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I don't think it's that difficult of a Course of Fire. So if I had to give a rating out of 5, I'll give it a 2. 2 out of 5 maybe as far as difficulty. 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5. Yeah, it's not that difficult. Anyway, I shot my PRC earlier, and I was gonna shoot 5 more rounds before I leave. I'm debating about it. I'm gonna see how it looks when I drive past the range, the main line. Maybe I'll do it. If there's no one there, I'll go and just throw my gear out there and take 5 quick shots. Otherwise, I'm just gonna roll out and we'll try it another day. As far as just checking my consistency of the grouping and to see if the scope is not jacked up and it's not stringing. Anyway, our next match for November is going to be the 23rd, I believe. So that is the weekend before Thanksgiving. So if you're in the area, definitely come on out. West End Gun Club. I'll put a link to our match page so you can register if you're interested. And hopefully we'll see you there. Anyway, that's it for today. Tuesday, October 28th here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.